I want to review a case study from a past student because I think this is especially relevant given that, as I actually predicted, Yale followed suit and they're no longer test optional. And then, of course, this was following Dartmouth studies, so here's the case study. So she was exceptionally bright. She took basically every AP class that was available to her. I think it totaled in like 13 APs or something. She got 5s in every single one, except for 2 4s. And those 2 were in classes that weren't necessarily in her field of study. So when it came to the SAT, initially without much prep, she scored a 1480. So then she assumed that with a little bit of studying, she'd crack 1500 pretty easily, and her goal score was a 1550. But when her August test scores came in, she actually scored significantly lower. Maybe it was an off day, maybe that test just had more content that were her weak points. And this student had come to me to work on college applications as a senior or a rising senior in about July. And I think it was like late July too. So when she got her test results back, the next test that she could take would be October. And she could have taken that one, but realistically, we knew that because she had scored so significantly lower, it could have just been that 1480 was luck. And it would be way too risky to just take another one in a month without any prep. So we set her up with one-on-one tutoring prep, and then she took the November test. She scored a 1580, like I said, bright girl. Here was the issue. ED and EA deadlines are typically in November, early November. So we pretty much had to forego most early applications to any of her reach schools. So she did not ED anywhere. And this was a pretty long conversation that we had. This was a couple of years ago. And she still got into some really good schools. But I use this story to highlight to students the importance of timing. With anything that has to do with college applications, but especially for SAT and ACT prep. We've now got Dartmouth, Yale, MIT, Georgetown, University of Florida, Georgia Tech. I think you can apply, but you do eventually have to, if you're admitted, submit your SAT scores. So it stands to reason that students who really want to apply to top colleges should consider their study plan for their SAT and ACT prep strategy if they want to be competitive with other students. And this video is honestly mostly for freshmen and sophomores. That's not to say if you're a junior right now, you can't just study throughout the whole summer, but I'm hoping that you've had some introductions to the test beforehand, because you really don't want to take the test more than 3 times if you can help it. Number one, because, schools like Georgetown require you to submit all of your test scores. But also, why do you want it hanging over your head? Study a lot for 2 months and get it over with. In our next video, I'll give you some advice on how to actually map out your test strategy, curated to your own unique and very busy schedule.